Hey guys, so we are all packed up. We're gonna go head over and get working on the truck today. I got a wideband AFR gauge and sensor, and we're going to get that installed today. There's also a small little fix that we're gonna do on the exhaust. I wasn't 100% happy with how that turned out. It seems to be a little leaky where that transition piece is, so we're gonna swap something else into that. So let's get rocking and rolling and see how long this takes us. So the gauge I got is an AutoMeter analog readout. The reason I went with analog as well as this specific one is the tack, it kind of goes along with it, so thought that would be a good one. But wideband O2 that goes into the exhaust, so we got to cut or drill a hole and weld that in, and then some wiring to do. Yeah, so not too bad. Let's get going. Okay, so there's our exhaust manifold. We only have one, so we don't have to pick left or right. If you have a V8 and you're just using this like I am for monitoring, not in a data logger or anything, you only need it in one side. You don't need both. You can run both and compare side to side, but that shouldn't matter. So I'm just going to mark. These paint markers work, son of a bitch. That should be fine. So you can see that little spot I put on there. You don't want this vertical. Let me zoom out here. When you have it vertical, the condensation is going to affect the sensor, so you want it between 10 or 2 based on where you've got it. So where we've got it, we're going to have it at an angle like that. Okay, now we just need to loosen up the exhaust. We're going to take that completely out. I could probably reach in there, but with the welding and everything, I don't really want it right next to the engine. So I'm going to take that piece out. Lucky enough for me, when I got everything set up, I used everything as 14 millimeters, so just one ratchet and let's get it out. So looking at the bung here that we need to weld in, measuring, this is the bottom side that's going to go like that. Measuring that is about 7/8. So we're going to use step bits. Using, this one goes up to 7/8, but when we look, for it to go through, we're going to actually start hitting the other side. So we're going to use this big guy. 7/8 is about right there on it, and that'll be a lot better. So I'm just going to put a mark on there where 7/8 is so I know, and we'll get rolling. paint is drying, let's take a look at what we need to do for wiring and kind of get a game plan there. What we've got, this goes to the, this big one here, this goes to the sending unit. This comes in, this goes into the back of the gauge, and then this is where our wiring takes place. So you can see white, blue, brown, black, which actually goes into 2 black, and then red. So pretty self-explanatory. Red is going to go to your keyed ignition. Focus. It's going to go to your keyed ignition, as you see. Brown is going to go, this is for applications that use less than 12 volts, so we actually don't need this. This goes fused to the battery. We don't need that. Blue and one of the blacks go to a data logger, which we're not going to use, so we don't need that. And then white goes to the dash lighting, so you can wire that to the switch, or you can wire this right with the red one. And with, like I said, it's a keyed ignition, so Duke, there's no one there. So you can just wire it with the red one, and then that light always illuminates, which I think I'm going to do for just the ease of it. So overall, not a lot of wiring because half of them we're not even going to use, so that makes it pretty darn easy. Also got to figure out where I'm going to put this in the cab. Where am I going to mount it? I know it's kind of not ideal, but right in that radio delete plate would be a good one. People are going to freak out about that because these are kind of hard to find, but then when people offer for them, they're buying them for like $10, so I don't really give a shit. I'm going right through it. So that's kind of what I've been thinking. Looking at everything else, I don't really see a good opportunity to put this anywhere. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's going to be our best bet. So I'm going to pop that off and see what we have to work with behind there.
Yeah, I spit raps like a heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars, in fact I blast tasteful.
Okay, sorry bud. We're calling it a night for tonight. I got all the wiring done. It started getting dark in the garage. The lighting in this garage is not great, so we'll cut our losses for tonight. We got enough done, and we will get everything buttoned up tomorrow. So we'll have it done, we'll have it tested. I still need to button up the exhaust there too, and then when I did that, the side exit is a little bit off center now, so just getting everything kind of fixed up there. Once that's done, then we'll fire up the truck and we'll see how it does. But pretty productive day, really just a couple hours out there, but I'll take it. Okay, see you in just a little bit. Well, from the last time I saw ya. I was backing down the driveway in the truck. I said, tomorrow when we get in, or the next day when we get in to finish this up, we'll have it done. That was like 10 days ago. So I believe I'm gonna have to go back through kind of and see where I'm at with everything. I'm fairly confident that I have everything wired up. I'm gonna double check that. We're gonna make sure everything is wired. Then we just have to clean up some of the exhaust things that I changed. And then we should be good, ready to fire it up and go from there.
I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out, remember you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now, I'm gonna make you bleed out. Listen on repeat now and weed out all the weak now. Get up and make a change, don't remember yesterday. If you got something to say, speak your mind before your grave. Cause your life is yours to save, ain't nobody gonna change. Everybody stays the same, so be different, make a name,
like
huh?
a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer, march until it's over. And just like a soldier,
Where we're hanging up, on the back of this. This is a little wide for this opening, so I'm gonna see what I can do, because I don't really want to clearance this out right away, just because that would affect if I ever wanted to put a factory or a factory looking radio in there. Shit. Let me think. Alright, so it didn't need much. What I did is I took it over to the vise and took a file to the edges here and just flattened it out. And now she ever so slightly fits in there. So it's still going to take a little bit of finessing, but we'll get it in there.
I'm moving forward, always getting closer.
Alright, well, I let it warm up and get to temperature. Been messing with the carburetor a little bit, and it's bouncing around, but at idle it doesn't really want to seem to go below 15. It's kind of fluctuating between 15 and a half and 16, which isn't ideal. So I'm going to take it for a little cruise around the neighborhood and see what happens. Where this thing has always struggled is kind of rolling through stop signs and whatnot. Not rolling through the stop sign, but you get what I mean. Not coming to a complete stop and then trying to get back on it. So let's see what happens. That seems way better. Good, it's actually got some power now. Alright, let's give that another shot and see if we get a better opportunity to just kind of push through this here. So it's all done. The gauge works great, which you can see. The two issues that we wanted to accomplish with doing this whole project was, one, being able to tune the carburetor a little bit better, get the truck running a little stronger, and doing a more scientific approach as opposed to adjusting it and smelling and all the other myths that you read about on the internet in terms of you know, the gurus in tuning carbs. That way we can see the gauge, we can see the number, we can see where we're at, we can see where we're running when we're open throttle cruising, and make the adjustments that we need to. With just fiddling with it a little bit, we were able to make the changes. The test drive, it ran extremely strong. It's probably the best it's run since I've had the truck, which is a great sign, obviously. I'm really happy with that. The other thing that we wanted to fix was with the exhaust, getting that transition piece buttoned up to a better, stronger piece, which definitely we had made some improvement there. Reason that I could tell it was an issue is in the cab, it was extremely fumy from gas. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't an exhaust leak, which apparently it was. I wanted to, more importantly, make sure that it wasn't the gas tank that was creating those fumes as it pressurized, creating those fumes in the cab there. So I'm glad that that is not the case. On that test drive, it was extremely comfortable. Didn't have any of the fumes or the gas smell or anything like that. So buttoning up the exhaust with the better transition piece definitely made a big difference there. So I'm happy about that. So mission accomplished. One thing that I didn't do on that gauge that I'm deciphering if I need to or not is putting the light in the back of that. You got to put the light in and wire that separately. You can wire it to the dash light or whatnot, and that's not something I did. So I'm going to leave it out for now. We'll see what happens. The truck keeps getting a little better and better every time I work on it. Like I said, this is the best it's ran. It was actually fun to drive. Before, you kind of had to feather the gas a little bit, and it was a little finicky. And if you got on it too early, you know, it would flood out and whatnot. So being able to make those adjustments to get it to run strong and be able to get on it a little bit and really kick it in the ass and see what it's got is a lot of fun. Anyway, hope you had fun with this one. It was a nice, fun project. It's kind of cool bringing the truck up to date a little bit and giving it a little bit of technology. Hope you guys are digging it. See you later.
Ridiculous, I'm spitting this meticulous and limitless, while others out there spitting shit got hits up on the charts and shit. I see why other artists quit, cause people don't reward good shit, they love to